When you're not fed love on a silver spoon, you learn to lick it off a knife.
That is so true. Yes. The visual is very graphic.
I could not be touched for 3-4 months, but out of those 3-4 months, I had intimacy for a day or two. It would carry me through for the next 6 months. My body and my own self-belief was able to ration a kiss to last forever.
I went through a divorce 2 years ago, and I think through that process, it helped me shed a lot of my own masks that I've been wearing. I think for myself, my big personal journey started when I started my business just after COVID. And it's just been this huge journey of, embracing and leaning more into, like my mentor says, leaning more into who Tracy Fryer is. I drank too much, let's say, to try and fit in all the time. When I actually stopped that behavior, I just became so settled in who I am. And it's just so centering.
I was judged to be the needy guy. So I walk around with that backpack and the label says needy. But I won't let it go, because if I let it go, then who am I? That's my identity. And I said, well, I'll just sit there, and if they wanted to hit me, I'll let them, because I felt that's what I deserved. I'm a man, keep going. I've got a 12-year-old daughter, and the one thing that I want to show her is the blueprint of being a man. And the last thing I want to do, I don't want any other man walking her down the aisle, because I can't contain my shit and heal my shit.
Are you happy?
This is Real Biz, Real Life. The Real Biz Life Chronicles, hosted by Tracy Fryer.
What if the most brilliant business owners have been hiding in the shadows, and it's time to bring them into the light? Welcome to the Real Biz Life Chronicles. I'm your host, Tracy Fryer, and this is your grinding zone, where I sit down with real business owners just like you. We share the wins, the wreckage, and everything in between. Raw, honest, unscripted. Get ready to banish boring. Let's go. Before we dive into the episode, I need to ask a favor. If you are enjoying the show, if anything has resonated, or even if you've attempted to say yeah, like I often do, we ask that you please like and subscribe to our channels. You're not just supporting the show, but you're helping us build an incredible community of business owners who get it, who get each other, and who keep going no matter what. Share it with someone in your world today so they know they're not alone. Thank you. He's been deployed to war zones. He's built businesses from nothing. He has walked away from everything twice when it didn't feel right. And somewhere between the desert and the boardroom, he figured out the hardest battle most men face isn't on the battlefield. It's in their own head. My guest today is not your typical anything. Not your typical soldier, not your typical construction company owner, not your typical coach. He is a former military operator with multiple deployments to the Middle East. He moved to Perth with no plan and no safety net. He worked his way through the civil construction industry from the ground up. Operator, manager, co-owner. Today he runs AU Profiling, the company quietly keeping Western Australia's road networks from falling apart. But the work he is most proud of happens off the tools. He coaches men, helping them regulate under pressure, breaking patterns of avoidance, and showing up with clarity, at work and at home. His tools are breathwork, NLP, and hypnotherapy. His philosophy is simple: steady breath, strong spine, action that aligns with values, not egos. Grounded in service, discipline, and family, please welcome Laki Mafi.
Thank you, Tracy.
Great to finally have you on the show.
Yes.
I know I've met your beautiful now wife, Leslie, and congratulations on your marriage as well. Wonderful to see.
Yes, yeah. Very, very grateful to be here, and thank you for the opportunity to to find the space to have me sitting here and just to talk about life.
Yes, absolutely. Now, I don't know about you, but I find the best conversations are always had over a great cup of coffee. And so the coffee for each episode of the Real Biz Life Chronicles is sponsored by no other than the legends at Cuppa Cartel. They're fueling great conversations, one cuppa at a time. They offer a full corporate cuppa experience and personalized valet service for you and your crew at the office. For more information, head to the link in the show notes below. Laki, you said you were focused on surviving more so than thinking about the future. I'd love for you to take me back. What was life like growing up?
Ooh. It was colourful. It was always in survival mode. I grew up in a very strict Christian home where God and the way we showed up to church was paramount. And through that, discipline was heavily enforced if you veered off the path, so to speak. So growing up, spent a bit of time in New Zealand. I was born in Tonga, moved over to New Zealand, and then just after probably my primary years, I went back to Tonga to learn. And that was the hardest part for the transition in regards to learning from living in New Zealand to living in Tonga, and how life was 10 times harder at the time, and being in an unfamiliar environment. So everything from the nervous system to me in general just went into survival mode as to what do I do, how do I do it, so I don't get seen.
Yeah. And when you say so you don't get seen, do you mean as in with that, transition that you were going through?
Yes, it was about if I do what everyone says and I go where everyone tells me to go, then I can blend in.
Yes.
And not draw any attraction to what I'm doing, because if I draw attraction to what I'm doing, then I'm doing something wrong.
I see, yeah. And then what was the reason for going back to Tonga?
Was to learn the culture, and obviously, or as well as school. So I went back to learn school, and then after a couple of years in high school, I came back to New Zealand, and I did a 2 years stint in New Zealand, and then I got sent back because I was a bit of a problem teenager.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Was that the rebellious phase?
Yes, 100% the rebellious phase, and I got sent back to Tonga to finish off school. And then I came back to New Zealand, spent a year of doing barista courses and trying to find my purpose. And that's when I saw an ad on TV about have I got what it takes to join the New Zealand Army.
I see, yeah.
And through that one ad, I just signed myself up and took off. Yeah.
And it sounds to me like you and I have had a very similar upbringing from a Christian home, very traditional, very strict. How has that formed how you see life now?
I'm grateful, very grateful to know what it can do, and also hold the values, like the discipline and the values that I currently hold now have always been there. There have been values that have changed along the way because they weren't mine, they were imposed onto me, but be able to decipher and recognize what works for my life and not for those who have imposed their beliefs and whatnot onto me. So that very strict upbringing through church has played its role, that I know where in the Bible I can find things and find help and stuff, and also where I don't have to kind of be in a judgment phase of crucifying myself because it's not aligned with what I was brought up with.
Yes. And when did you make that shift?
For
when you, like you say, you realized you could choose things that aligned with your values. When did you start making those shifts? Because I know, being from a Christian home, it's very much, this is the set way, this is the path that you follow.
Yeah.
So I'd love to know for you, like at what stage in your life did you start making those shifts and forming things, for yourself?
I'd say COVID.
Oh, really? Yeah. Okay.
So growing up the way that on that path that I grew up on, and then joining the army, that belief of being strict and being people pleaser or being like that fit right well with the army, because it kind of went into robotic mode.
As often
be
happens
here,
when you join the army. Yeah.
Be here, do this, don't answer questions. And I was okay with being that because that was the strict upbringing that I had.
Yes.
Through the boarding schools that I attended. And so it was like, okay, if I can do this at boarding school and not get a whack behind the ears or stuff at school, but in the New Zealand Army, like no one really dishes that out, then this is going to be a breeze.
Yeah.
So I kind of found a brotherhood or a sense of belonging in this because I didn't have to think because I was just told what to do. And so moving forward into coming to COVID, that's when things started to okay, I kind of really need to start thinking for myself now.
Yes. So were you in the military up until COVID?
No, I left the military in 2012. That was after my second deployment to Afghanistan. And when I moved over with my my ex-wife, and we came over and stayed in Perth from 2013 onwards. And then, 2019, I was still working for another, the one company that I joined with in 2012. When I came over, I was working for them for 9 years, and then they enforced the jab, and that's when I left.
I see. Yeah. And I'd love to know, how did that military experience shape how you see things?
It was almost a blur, but the body remembers everything else. It was comradeship, it was brotherhood, it was going out and like being alive. But the discipline to stick to things was the real kicker. The ability to see what types of leadership that I could kind of take on and teach and lead versus the ones that I didn't like. So it was a bit of a smorgasbord of taking what suits. At that point in time, like the way I lead now is 10 times different to how I used to lead after leaving the army. But the army gave me the foundations of discipline and being able to question everything and see it for what it is.
And what role do you think discipline plays in our lives? Because on my own personal journey, like the last 4 to 5 years, discipline and having structure has just been crucial in my own success.
Yeah. I think discipline is so good because I was told this just recently, is that discipline is something that you need when it's not high up on your values. I value my health. I value gym. So I don't need discipline to go to the gym.
Right.
But something that's not high up in my values is, let's just say, reading a book. But I want to read a book because I want to know more. So I've got to have the discipline to be able to sit down each night and read 5 to 10 pages.
Yes.
So that's the discipline in doing the things that you don't really value. So it's interesting that I've just recently learned that. I said, you've got so much discipline, you go to the gym. So no, I just value the gym.
Yes.
So that's why I always go.
Yeah.
But I need the discipline to read a book.
And the discipline, I guess, to go to the gym, or no, that's different. It becomes a value through
it's
disciplining yourself.
Yeah. So if I value health over reading a book higher, then I won't need motivation to go to the gym or discipline because it's just something that's right high up on my values list. But I don't value reading. So I need the discipline to sit still and read 5 to 10 pages.
5 to 10 pages. Yeah, that's an interesting way to frame it. Yeah, I haven't thought about it like that before.
Yeah.
And tell me, where did your work with coaching men start?
That started probably 2 years ago. Going through my journey of being divorced from my ex-wife and finding out everything inside of me that needed not fixing but remembering. Going back to like the wounding, the mother wound, the father wound, trauma in the past, and understanding that my response to life was a response out of survival. So if my nervous system was to pick up on something that triggered me or like made me angry, I had to really look into it and say, okay, why am I acting this way? Where does this come from? Find that thread, pull that thread all the way back to my childhood and realize, okay, because you were never shown love, you were never hugged, you were never told that your parents are proud of you and all that stuff. Pull on that thread from the past to the future now to where I am now, then it's like the need for approval. And then being able to unpack all of that and find what works for me, and then realizing that there's a whole lot of men out there that are feeling the same, but at the same time, we all sit on the fence and saying, okay, I need something, a life-changing event to happen to me. Divorce, death, suicidal thoughts or
Something
like
quite traumatic.
something
Yeah.
traumatic, to then switch that part of the brain on and say, now's the time to change.
Yeah.
So for me, I had to lose everything and lose close people to me to realize, okay, like the pattern of survival that I'm living in now is not working. If I want to be in my children's lives, I want my partner to see me and love me for who I am, I've got to be able to shed everything before that. Because Leslie, my wife now, she didn't create any of those wounds. So why should she face the wrath of any of them?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So, and knowing like I've been in the military for just under 10 years. I've been in the roading industry for just like 10, 12 years now. The men are the same. Whether they're in the military or not, it is using humor to joke about what's actually going on inside. And then other men encouraging it. And but we joke in a way where it's safe.
Yeah.
But also hurt at the same time. So if you know what a man has gone through, depression, those kind of dark thoughts and all that stuff, and you hear another man joke about it, the relatability is already there. And it's in those micro moments that you say, oh, I can relate, bro, I see you, and all this stuff, but that's where it stops. And then they go home and then, I remember that guy, he's got a bit of trauma. I've got the same thing. So my stance now is to merge those two worlds, so to speak. So I've got my Disruption of Man retreat, and it's going to be an annual retreat for the men of Perth, starting in August. And it's surface level stuff to see what's deeper, and for both the blue collar and white collar men who live out of survival mode.
So do you believe that by, I guess, going within, working through all that trauma, it actually produces a stronger human on the other side?
Oh, 100%. Because you're carrying around baggage that doesn't belong to you anymore.
Yeah.
The judgment that was given to you as a child, as a teenager, as a young man, was everyone else's projections.
Yeah.
But I have carried it thinking that this is me. I was judged to be the needy guy. So I walk around with that backpack and the label says needy.
I see.
And so with that label, I've invoked those words. And in past relationships, I've come across as needy. And then I say, yep, that's me. I was called needy when I was a child. I am a needy man. I would own it, but I won't let it go.
Yeah.
Because if I let it go, then who am I? That's my identity.
It's formed part of your identity.
Yeah. So, and
makes sense.
it's the mask that everyone says, oh, you take off the mask of shame, take off the mask of judgment, and all those wounds that the mask that you wear, people-pleasing mask. The thing is, some people can't, because if you take them off, who are they?
Yeah,
And,
true.
But before they get to know who they are, when they take it off, this is where the work for me comes in, is like saying that, teaching them that they are this type of person. So when they take the mask off, they see that person. It's not take the mask off and then they're sitting there and saying, okay, now who am I?
Yeah.
They have the preconceived idea of I am this man, and when I take off this mask, I am still this man. So it's a dance.
Yeah. One that I've done as well.
Yeah.
Why do you think, I guess not just men, like so many people, men and women, will sit on the fence sometimes. Do you think it's because it's scary to embrace that hard work and potentially looking at the layers under our mask and what actually is our makeup and what makes us operate the way that we do?
Oh, 100%. It is a survival mechanism of our body and our subconscious and nervous system from growing up. I've been in situations where my value of what I bring to a certain team is too much. So therefore I shrink my value and my identity to suit the team so I can be accepted.
Adjust it, right.
Because if they don't accept me being this small, or if they accept me and I'm just too big for them, I have to start living in a world where I'm going to be rejected and banished from certain groups. So we mold ourselves to fit in the environments that suit everyone else, not us.
So true.
But once you start doing all the work and stuff, you realize your opinions don't pay my bills. Like, I'm not going to wake up next to you every morning and ask for your like opinion and judgment. So like once we start releasing that, then your circles and environment is going to be smaller, but way more potent.
Absolutely.
Because they get to see the real you in all of you. There's nothing worse than being this person that just wants to be free, but you have to minimize yourself because everyone else is intimidated from their own freedom.
Yeah. It's I can relate to so much of what you're sharing. So I went through a divorce 2 years ago, and I think through that process it helped me shed a lot of my own masks that I've been wearing. And yeah, like you say, I think for myself, my big personal journey started when I started my business just after COVID. And it's just been this huge journey of, embracing and leaning more into, like my mentor says, leaning more into who Tracy Fry is and being comfortable that I'm not for everyone and that's fine. And if I am for people, great. And if I can serve people, great. But being more so okay with if someone doesn't like me or doesn't like what I'm standing for, that's absolutely fine. Like I'm just not for them.
Yeah.
So, and I think through working through all those layers of bullshit that I was telling myself, I feel like I've just stepped into a stronger version and just more me. But like you said before, you kind of adjust yourself to suit the environment. I did that for so long, and I think I drank too much, let's say, to try and fit in all the time.
Yeah.
But when I actually stopped that behavior, I just became so settled in who I am, and it's just so centering because you no longer feel like you have to, have 5 glasses of Prosecco or you have to act a certain way to keep the peace. And yes, my friendship circles have gone from this to this, and I'm so grateful for the core people I have in my life because I'd rather that than 65 people that, it's all surface level nonsense.
Yes.
So much of what you're saying I can relate to in my own journey.
Yeah, and it's so beautiful because the more you evolve, the more people drop off, but at the same time, the more people come in. It's like you're tapping into certain frequencies, like military frequency. There was the party guy, the guy who could party, the guy who could work hard, the guy who was physically strong. Leave that, I invoked that into the roading industry when I was an operator. I could work double shifts, triple shifts. I could work day, night for 7 days straight and not be faced because I was driven through purpose. And that frequency attracted a lot of respect. That type of man attracted a lot of, money was also there. But then moving into this transition where I needed to fix my internal world, that's when I realized a lot of people were starting to drift away. Because I wasn't that party guy. I wasn't going out drinking all the time. I wasn't saying yes to every single job that came up. Money was no longer the highest value. And then people and companies started to drift away. And then everything just felt lighter. And it was all for the better because then focus could come back on to me.
Yeah.
We live in a society where it's always about the approval of others, and very few of us have actually gained this part within ourselves that we don't need everyone else's approval.
Yeah.
And with that, I'm just kind of a lot more free to do what I want, how I want, and show up 100% me unapologetically. That doesn't mean I become an asshole in how I talk to people and how I manage business and all that stuff. It's just like boundaries. I'm setting firm boundaries, and if you don't like my boundaries, I can't help you.
Yeah.
Like, this is the one thing that I've lacked most of my life is boundaries because I needed to be liked.
Yes, and it's so true what you say, like in terms of feeling lighter and centered. That's the only way I can describe it. Did you also find that when as you kind of step more into, I guess, your own greatness and power, that some people get really uncomfortable with that and there's a shift in like key relationships that you thought would never happen? Has it been the same for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
It intimidates them because their perception, the way they filter their world is a certain way. Like we all filter the world through the lenses of our own experience.
Yeah.
But for many of us, we have this trauma bond type of relationship I can relate to what you're going through. And then you guys start seeing the world through the same lens. But when you get upgraded with a different lens in life,
Yeah, I love that upgrade.
yeah, you get the new lenses, and you start seeing things with better perspective, and saying, okay, this is not me anymore. And your friend who hasn't upgraded his lenses is like, okay, like even if it's close relationship, they're like, don't leave me behind. You've changed. And say, no, it's not I ever changed. It's not the fact that I've changed. It's the fact that you don't like my change.
Yes.
It's like true friends would turn around and say, good on you for. And I've had a lot of good friends, both military and from the radio industry, say, I love the work that you're doing. Keep it up.
Right.
They message me behind the scenes, and like they're sitting at the fence. And one of my mates, he put me in my place. Like he was telling me a few things that he had going on with his partner, and I started coaching him. And he said, bro, just be my bro, don't be my coach. And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. Like, he goes, just be my friend. Yeah. And I was like, whoa, that's like it. And then through that boundary that he put in place, he said, I don't want you to coach me, I just want you to hear me. Be my friend.
Yeah. And it's good that you've got that open communication, because sometimes when you are drawn to serve and help others, you just naturally step into that coaching or, advice giving. I know I do the same, probably drive people crazy, but you just naturally step into that, person anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so good. And like the fact that there's a lot of men that message me on socials and just say, I love the work that you're doing, keep it up and stuff. They're not involved in anything I do or anything that other men do, but they just enjoy watching me succeed and enjoy that I can bring this type of frequency to their relationship.
Yes.
They're not the likes. Some of them don't like doing men stuff because they're I'm not going to say they're trapped in their wound, but the filter of the world at this point in time is just them just getting on with life. And if that's how they want to live life, like kudos to them. But now knowing that one of their friends dabbles in this realm, it's like, okay, now I'm a beacon for those. Like when you're time, you might not see me now want to do the work now, but in a year's time or 2 years' time, at least you know where to go.
Yeah, absolutely. Why do you think it is that so many men, feel that it's, I want to say, a weakness to speak about, how they might be feeling or what they might have experienced? Is it easier for them to just park it in a box behind them and try to forget about it? Do we really actually ever forget about it though?
We don't forget about it, but we do park it up. And
is that good though?
Of course not.
Eventually it bites you, doesn't it?
It
catches up with you.
Yeah. If you can keep the lid of all the trauma or the wounds that you're holding, if you can keep a lid on that and keep it suppressed, cool. But what it's going to do is going to come out in the form of anger, resentment, snappiness, disconnection, disassociated with life, the numbing. That's where it's going to spill out to. Say, cool, I've contained everything that hurt me in life.
Yeah.
But it's going to come out in the form of the way I speak to you is going to be venomous. The way I treat you is going to be cold. The way I respond to you is going to be disrespectful. So it's got to come out somewhere. If you can keep that lid tight, then it's going to come out through those avenues. And it's scary. I know the way for me personally, it was shame. Why didn't I want to lift the cap off this pressure thing?
Yeah, pressure cooker.
Yeah, the
That's
pressure
what I'm thinking,
cooker.
like a pressure cooker slowly releasing and then one day it just explodes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was shame. Shame of being judged, shame of being ousted or being banished from the groups that I'm in, being laughed at. It's more so by the ones closest to me.
Yeah.
Because the ones closest to me gave me that shame. So then when I needed their approval to not be shamed, they shamed me more. So it just reinforced a certain belief that I've had, that I've been carrying since childhood.
Yeah.
So, and once we have that belief from childhood, we're consciously going to look for evidence to reinforce that story and that belief within my mind. So with my ex-wife, the wounding there was like the lack of intimacy when I was younger, like hugs and touching, all of that stuff. And then when when I would go to hug her or touch her in a non-sexual way and she shrugged off,
Oh, I see.
that would reinforce the belief that, one, I'm not worthy, two, that there's something wrong with me. So, okay, sweet, I can't touch you, I can't love you in this way.
Yeah.
The next best thing, I'm going to make you money so I can gain your approval.
So other ways of trying to get that affection. I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah. So,
interesting.
and with that, like there's I don't know if it was C.S. Lewis that created this quote, but it's a quote, one of my favorite ones. And it's like, when you're not fed love on a silver spoon, you learn to lick it off a knife.
That is so true. Yes. I'm goosebumping as you say that. The visual is very graphic.
Yes. And that's the thing, like when men and women, I can't speak for women, so I'm just going to speak about the men. Yeah. So when men are deprived of intimacy, connection, love and all that stuff, they learn to do things that gets drip fed them. So I could not be, in previous relationships, I could not be touched for 3-4 months. But out of those 3-4 months, I had intimacy for a day or two. That would carry me through for the next 6 months. My body and my own self-belief was able to ration a kiss to last forever.
Wow.
And then
just due to that belief?
Yeah, just that belief that, okay, sweet, 3 months into it, I'm worthy. I got a kiss.
I see, yeah.
I got to have sex. I got to touch and all that stuff. It was like, and I didn't realize that was my nervous system accepting love off a knife. It was just being drip fed.
Yeah.
So like, okay, so if I'm given love every 3 months, what do I do to get more? I work harder. I get more money. I say yes to whatever is needed. I do this. I destroy all my boundaries and put her on this pedestal.
Yeah.
So she can give me more. She can dish it out willy-nilly kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, and it works both ways. And it was hard for me to come to that realization, to look at a person that I used to love and think, you've willingly, knowingly been doing this to me.
Because I guess you've got two people who have all got, their life experience, their childhood, all their beliefs and values they bring together. Then you kind of put them together and then you're trying to, I don't want to use the word make like a whole one, but you're trying to find this dynamic within. So it's really challenging, it's it can be really hard to process at the time if you haven't done that deep, hard work, and to try and understand that not everyone is like you, everyone is different, and to understand your own trauma that you have been through as well.
Yeah. And that was something that I've just recently learned, is that when a trigger is being activated in your partner or whoever, is that my initial go-to was, okay, I've triggered you, you've responded, and instead of seeing you in your pain, I've removed you out of your own pain and put myself there in your pain, and then now I'm like, I'm pretty sure this is gaslighting. Now I'm trying to tell you how I feel based on your pain that I caused.
It's almost like a cycle that one goes through.
It's a cycle that and it's crazy that we unconsciously do this because of the lack of awareness. But once we're able to find and speak, like, to have a partner that can call you out on this is like
so valuable.
So valuable and quite rare, because your partner tends, like, the human wants to do things that serves that person, not the other one, especially when in a trigger. But when one's in a trigger and then trying to help the other person whilst in the trigger, that's the beauty of doing the work.
And you almost hold each other accountable as well, because I think it would be, and just speaking from my own experience, you would almost go into old behaviors and then you have to try and work about it. The way I view it is that every time you backslide, you don't backslide as far, I'm hoping, and then you kind of, eventually you're not backsliding as far as what you were, and then you kind of get closer every time to, being truly like whole within yourself and being fully accountable for everything that you bring to the world. Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's so interesting. So many questions. Do you mind to repeat that quote again for me, please?
So the quote is, if you were never fed love with a silver spoon, you learn to lick it off a knife.
Yeah, it's that's a really powerful quote, and I think it's so true. Like, so many of us do that. Do you think it's because we don't believe we deserve better, or it's because of those behaviors and that conditioning that we then just accept that level of love or affection, or even in a non-romantic sense, in friendships, we put up with certain people because we think, well, I'd rather have that friend that makes me feel like shit instead of actually calling it for what it is because I might lose them.
Yeah. And you pull that thread and it takes you straight back to childhood. If you had a childhood where you were always hugged and told you were loved and ushered and or guided in such a way that you were allowed to express, then you grew up with a knowledge of what love can do.
Yeah, yeah.
When you didn't, then you're automatically in survival mode. You're automatically looking for approval. And then that just grows and grows as you get older and older.
Yeah.
So by the time you hit your teenage years, you've already gravitated towards a place that would accept you for the things you do. So then it comes from, and this is the difference between conditional and unconditional love, is having that at work. We all have transactional relationships, and that's the one thing you don't want to be at home. And so I'll do this if you do this.
Yeah.
And when it becomes that tit for tat, then you're competing. And then no one's really leading that relationship once you're in competition, because both are fighting to drive the wheel.
Yeah. And Laki, what are some signs for all the wonderful men listening that they might be in survival mode? Because sometimes you don't even realize you're operating from that place. It's just a norm to you, right?
Yeah. I think the signs would be being dismissive of what the other person thinks, being numb to wanting to feel any type of emotion to what's actually happening, to especially big decisions, and the reaction, the response to anything. Like my biggest thing at the moment is a bit cliche, but always wanting to be the one with the lowest heart rate in the room.
Yeah, I love that.
Because once your heart rate goes up, everything is charged with it, and you're bringing fire.
Oh yes.
But if you're the one in a heated room where things are going, there's chaos, and you're in the room and you have the lowest heart rate, you get to see the pain. And the signs of men not seeing the pain is, stuff this, just do whatever.
Yeah.
Because the confrontation is too nerve-wracking. The nervous system doesn't want the confrontation.
No, it's discomfort, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one wants to sit in that discomfort. But the man with the lowest heart rate in the room will sit in that discomfort and know that discomfort doesn't belong to him. It belongs to the chaos that's out there. So how do I bring their heart rate down without adding fuel to the fire?
Yeah.
So the biggest signs that was for me was basically the way I would snap, the way I would respond, especially like everyone responds well when things are going well. But it's when things go pear-shaped, that's when you see the true character of that person come out. And that is a response from their nervous system based on how they've dealt with chaos in the past.
I see.
Yeah, so as soon as something doesn't go their way and they start yelling and screaming, there's a good indication that somewhere down the line that they don't feel heard, they don't feel respected, they don't feel valued. So they've got to create this big song and dance.
Like supercharged.
Yeah, supercharged.
Yeah.
And potentially belittle someone or call their names. It's like spit out their venom. And like one thing that I've learned of Leslie is she said, like, I'll always share my pain with you, but never my venom. And because I think in the early stages we were talking about pain and being able to hold space for each other. And I said, well, I'll just sit there and if they wanted to hit me, I'd let them because I felt that's what I deserved. And that's when she said, like, that's the venom. That's the venom. So, like, take the pain, see them in their pain, but don't stand for the venom. I said, wow, that makes sense, because a lot of men can take the physical beating of anything and anyone and justify it. Like, we literally gaslight ourselves to say, yeah, you're punching me in the face. I deserve it.
I'm tough. I can handle it.
Yeah, I'm tough.
Yeah.
I can handle it. I'm a man. Keep going. kind of thing. But it's, that's the venomous part of the unhealed trauma from another person.
Something I want to speak to, and I love that you mentioned it, is holding space for each other. It's something, I try my best to do for people and always appreciate when someone does it for me. For our listeners, do you mind to explain what that is and how we can best serve each other in that space?
Yeah, it's James Greenshields. He's an ex-Australian Army officer. He was my first mentor into this, and he gave me the best definition of holding space, because one of my mates, a couple of weeks ago, I went and held space on a women's retreat. 21 women, and I was sitting there, and I was to receive their rage.
Yeah.
And that rage was towards the masculine, not me directly. So also any masculine wounding that had affected them. And then on the flip side of that, I also received their praise. So their praise was 10 times harder to hold than their rage.
Really?
Way harder.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, what do I do with this?
Yeah.
I only needed a handful, but going back to the question and holding space, and what James Greenshields taught me is that you got the cliff and you got the ocean. For men, we are the cliff. We are the formidable structure that does not move.
Yeah.
The women are the ocean and the emotions, and however it crashes up against the cliff is always just going to be the cliff. So holding space is not about being solid and still and stoic, because there's a very thin line between being stoic and being numb. So
true.
I used to think, okay, I'm just going to sit here and take it. But I was disconnected. I was like thinking, say, okay, am I done now, kind of thing. Yeah. And that was me numbing out. But the actual holding space for someone, especially in pain, is like being there, being presently in there and seeing them in their pain. So if I was to hold space for Leslie and something like my word, she was upset about my word and stuff, I would see her, okay, me not living up to my word and doing what I said I would do, with the pain in that, the lack of trust, the lack of safety, the list goes on. But being able to see that what I have done has created this, and seeing her pain. It's like another way is a blank canvas. Yeah. I'm holding space for you. You get a blank canvas. And whatever you draw on it is all yours. I'm not taking the pen off you and start drawing your pen. That's where most of us get it wrong in holding space. So true. You're like telling me your pain, and I was like, okay, hold up, just give me your pencil here. Yeah, here's a red one. I'll start creating your experience, your pain for you, so you can see, no, holding space is just being there and letting them show everything they need to show. And just letting them verbalize things. Verbalize and like actually hearing it and not responding, allowing them, because every time you respond to someone who's in pain, you alter their thought process and the filter that they're currently on. So they're on a certain frequency. My really pain, yes, my pain is X, Y, Z, and you say, but I did this because you take away everything that they've just experienced and inserted yourself into their canvas, and taking the pen off them and just say, but like, so now I'm going to start drawing your experience. I'm going to start drawing your pain. Is this it? Is this it? Like removing yourself in all its entirely from their experience. It's the best way to hold it. Yeah. And like, when did that shift happen for you? Do you recall, like you said, was it during COVID times, did you say, that work started happening? Yeah. COVID started making me question everything. A couple of years after that, I did a Sacred Sons retreat. Okay. So is that like an all men's retreat? It's another men's retreat. Yeah. And that's when things started to change, where I knew that I was living in survival. So, and that's when I think things need to change. It's like one of my biggest things that I talk to the men now is because of I'm a statistic. I've been divorced. I've got a 12-year-old daughter that goes from back and forth between me and my ex-wife. And the one thing that I want to show her is the blueprint of being a man. And the last thing I want to do, and I've spoken to a few men, is that I don't want any other man walking her down the aisle, because I can't contain my shit and heal my shit. There's nothing worse for a man to see his kids his kid's been raised by someone else, let alone having those privileges like walking your daughter down the aisle given to someone else because I didn't have the discipline to sort my own shit out. And it really hits hard when I speak to the men like that. A couple of weeks ago I said, you know, the one of the biggest things that a lot of men don't realize is that if they've got daughters, with who you are now, are you happy if they brought someone like you back to the house?
Yeah, good point.
And they turn around and say, hell no. And I said, so what needs to change? And then they just sit back and it's like the light bulb just went off in them.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, if my daughters bring home someone like me, like I'm always drinking, I'm always swearing, I'm always short, I'm always this and this, like, are you going to stand there and shake his hand and say, well done?
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah, precisely.
Yeah. So that's really, and it's those real uncomfortable comments and scenarios that I need them to kind of picture the worst case scenario future that they could have with their kids versus the best case scenario they can have and where they are. This is the fork in the road. Like if you have met me, there's a reason kind of thing, and just take it as it is, like a sign. Like now you know where I am. You can come to me to help you and guide you. And again, I'm not for everyone and everyone's not for me, and I'm happy with that.
Yeah. For our guy listeners who are potentially listening thinking this is all a load of nonsense, what would your advice be to them? Because you know they're out there pushing against it.
Yeah. It's their own wounding. And I can't change what everyone and anyone else thinks about this. And this is what keeps the cycle alive.
Yeah.
Our fathers, our grandfathers, they've been through the phase of taking a hard pill. Information, technology never existed where I could reach out and find someone over in the States that I aligned with, that shared the same values, and learn off them. In this day and age, there's no excuse for men to not do the work. You can sit there and scroll on reels when you're waiting for trucks, waiting for the bus, waiting for the kids at school, and you can just slowly start seeing things on what the good men are doing, like the coaches are doing. And you can resonate it and give it a like and give it a heart and all that stuff, but it's actually the doing. The knowing is cool. The doing is the hardest part, like actions speak louder than words. But for the men that are going to sit there and judge me and say that this doesn't work, I say, look around at the future. Like, if I die tomorrow, I know that my 12-year-old daughter has got the imprint of what a man does. I open her door to when she comes in the car. I hold space for her in every way, shape and form. And I do a lot for her so she knows what it looks like. And yeah, can a lot of these other men turn around and say, if they died tomorrow, what would their kids, what's the impression they're going to leave behind their kids? Because they will go and look for you. The sons will say, okay, dad did it. His marriage lasted, so something's right there. Yeah. Dad's like this, like the little girl who you will see a short-tempered, angry dad will go find someone who's short-tempered and angry on the basis that that's what her nervous system is shaped for and can survive. Or she'll go find a cowardly man that she can run riot over because he lacks boundaries and he doesn't have the what's the word?
Someone's quite a contrast to her dad.
Yes. Yeah. So we all look for that because they are who we imprint off. Yeah. From the get-go.
There's a quote that I love. It goes, the cave you fear to enter, it holds the treasure that you seek. And I think it's by Joseph Campbell. And I think, like, with the work I've done, whilst I'm still working through my cave, trying to find my treasure, it's been so freeing. Like, it's been hard work, but it's been so liberating. doing it at the same time. Yes, it's been scary, but it's also, like you said earlier, it's brought those key people into my life that have really helped me through that journey.
Yeah.
Because I don't think it's one you can try to do on your own. It gets too hard sometimes. I think it's easy to just tap out and go back to old ways.
Yeah.
But working through it all has really been, and I'm still working through it, don't get me wrong, constant work in progress. I think it's really been so worthwhile.
Yeah, 100%. And yeah, what you said, like when you find your people, like back in the days, men used to sit in circles around a fire, like even in a village.
Yeah, they did.
And they would call each other's bullshit out. Say, hey, you need to do this, you need to do X, Y, Z, pull your head in. Like men would correct men.
Yes, they would hold each other accountable.
Hold each other accountable. In this day and age, because we don't really, we have a community, but we don't have the community.
No, true.
The word exists, but like we're all individuals that just live in a house, live behind a screen and just can say whatever we want and do whatever we want, have our opinion on things, but not actually hold people accountable in real life. Like how much people, someone sees something on the road that's not right, one out of probably 20 cars would stop in and check. And it's not because they don't want to help, it's the fear after of helping.
Precisely.
The fear of being
how
judged.
That person might actually react to someone saying something. They might get triggered, they might take offense. So I can see why. But yeah, that's such a key thing missing from society, isn't it?
And society's been conditioned in a way. Now it's like, where did toxic masculinity come from? It's like you can't have that in the same sentence because masculinity is in its divine form. So it's crazy and
It almost feels to me like people they're just drifting so far from like their moral compass and what men and women and their roles were meant to be. I mean, I heard, a while ago someone complaining because a guy opened a door for her. And I was like, you complained about that, but then you complain that men don't ask you out. And I'm like, it's kind of a bit hard because you're kind of saying like, you want a man to be a man in some ways when it suits you, but then in other ways you think it's how rude you held the door for me. So I'm like, hold the door for me. I love it.
Yeah.
But it's almost like, I think, and I am generalizing, it's almost like we want men to be a certain way, but then we also want them to be the traditional way. So it's like, make up your mind. Either we want men to lead and open the door and court us, or we want to just do everything ourselves, So I almost feel, and I don't say this any disrespect to women, that we're almost making it a bit harder for men because we kind of take that leadership away from them. And men can lead, women can lead, But do you understand what I'm saying? Like it's almost like it's been pushed so far. Like I heard there's a female organization that no longer wants to get dressed up for a ball because why should they get dressed up? I'm like, some of the pure joys of life, like you're just absolutely removing that. So go in your tracksuit pants where you could just sit on the couch with the man buns. Matt Walsh did a documentary called What is a Woman? I'd love to know in your words, what is a man?
And what is a man? Oh, what is a man? I guess like right off the cuff, what is a man for me is a person who can hold his values with honor and respect. He doesn't, I can say he's a protector, provider and all that stuff.
He's fucking,
Well, which almost every person is. But to stand in your truth and the essence of what your purpose is, because men are purpose-led.
Yeah.
And when a man can lead his purpose wholeheartedly with pure honesty and respect and integrity, I think that's what separates him from anyone else. Is providing, protecting. That's a byproduct of
and procreator.
And that's the byproduct of being honest, respectful, and integral, and always moving with intention. Because if your intention is to move for clout, it's disingenuous. And that's the transactional type of relationships that you start having because everything is based on what you can get. But when you start moving with intention, you're in an act of service and you're driving your purpose wholeheartedly forward. And what you receive and get from that is just a byproduct of who you are. So you're not expecting anything because you're so driven and purpose-led, respectful and all that stuff that, okay, you look behind you and you're just in abundance and affluence. But when your intentions are misaligned in what you do, you're looking back to count what you have and what you don't have, and that's when you start moving. Okay, I can gain more from here, and then I'll swing back in here in alignment kind of stuff. So, what is a man? Is a man who can stick to his words and live by them.
Yeah, and I love how you've worded that as well. Provider, protector, procreator. It's the triple P factor.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, how would the work that you do help business owners?
Yeah, that's the that would come back down to the lowest heart rate in the room.
I'm going to remember that one.
There's a lot of business owners that I've met, and they come from a place of fear and lack. And once you come from a place of fear and lack, that's where the micromanaging comes from, the needing to know, the needing to hold on to control. And once you start doing stuff on yourself, you start learning to trust and to see what's actually aligned with the business that you're creating. It's like when I asked Stephen to start this business with me, he asked me, what's your intention? I said, I want to create a workplace culture for the men to kind of come in together, and it not be a competition, but it'd be a place where they enjoy. We spend most of our time at work. Yeah. And yes, I know money is the byproduct of having a business and stuff, but being happy and being there are two different things. Being like wanting to do, like, I used to run away to work because I loved being at work and I was respected there. But when I went home, it was like a whole different story.
Quite different.
Quite different. So to do the internal work and create your business through culture and alignment on what you are, like, you're at the top, filtering down everything that aligns with you. And if money is the only thing that aligns with you, that's cool. But at least it comes from a pure place. You're not out here penny pinching from everyone you can and pulling the wool over and stuff. It's just, it's more pure, and that's where you can let go of the micromanaging, let go of the control, and just say, okay, sweet, this is us. These are our boundaries. We uphold our boundaries and we don't kind of stray from them.
Yeah. I think in my own experience, I feel like it's kind of supercharged me in some way. Like, you know, dealing with all the stuff, and I feel like it's really helped me be a better business owner. I show up better for my team, you know, a better human at the same time. So it's just had this really beautiful effect and impact on my life. Whilst it's been hard work, it's been so rewarding to just see that it's impacted everything so positively at the same time.
Yeah, 100%. That's the fire. The fire of desire that burns through you, where you're like, okay, we're going to get it, but we're going to get it this way. Yeah. Because the flow-on effect through the universe, God, whatever you believe on, is like, it's just going to give back to what you put out. And being that real inspirational leader. And like, I'm not perfect. Like, I've been told that I can be quite robotic. So thank you to the military, because it's like policy, procedure, have you done X, Y, Z kind of thing? And then I've been told, hey, you need to breathe. I said, okay, so
and you've got a presence about you as well. Yeah.
Yeah. And like, it allows me to come back at it, but it also allows the guys on the ground to question what I do. Yeah. And just say, hey, like, I see you're doing X, Y, Z. Can you explain to us why you're in this robotic form? Like, do you need us to relieve any pressure? And I was like, oh, shit, okay. Like, you kind of get stuck in that mode where I have to do it all myself. Yeah. There's no right way, just my way. So I'm going to collect all of this, put it here, and you just do what you're told. And that's not a workplace. That's, yeah.
And for the guys who are used to, you know, doing everything on their own for however many years, what would your advice be to them to opening up and letting people in to help them? Because all great leaders need a support crew. And I come across so many brilliant male business owners who think they have to do everything on their own. Is that from, I'd love to know your thoughts, is that from two things? They're used to doing it that way, or they've never really had that support, or it's control. They like to hold the control so that there's no disappointment at the end of the day?
It's a nervous system thing. And it can get traced right back to their childhood or to a certain life event something happened to them where they felt control is the only safety I have.
Right.
If I know there are 4 corners in the square, I know everything in that square is going to be safe and all right. Do I want to rely on someone? Maybe in the past I've relied on someone and they've done me over. Therefore, I will not rely on someone. I will do the bulk of the work and I'll control everything that happens in here. And it's just a matter of healing that part, because once you have that happen to you, then all you're going to do is keep finding stories and reasons to believe that it's still happening to you.
True.
And everything, I give responsibility to this manager and I'm going to say, I need you to watch over this. He makes one mistake, human error, we're all human.
Of course,
and then I'm going to take back control because you've just reiterated the belief and story in my mind that I can't trust anybody.
Yeah.
So I'm taking it back.
So it's safer.
Yeah. And it's all about safety for that person who has the control, that doesn't want to relinquish or share it to the team.
Laki, when it all gets too much, what do you do?
I used to do benders, alcohol.
Oh, okay.
But now my outlet is offline. It's offline for 2 to 3 days, reset, beach, family, and just like reintegrate with nature.
Nice.
Yeah. And I'd have a brotherhood. There's a brotherhood network that I'm with that I'll just sit in with them. And it's just been like, sometimes I'll share, sometimes I won't, but it's just been in that frequency of a tribe and a brotherhood of just being seen and say, Lucky, you're good over there? Say, yeah, bro, I'm sweet. And it's just, okay, sweet. They see me.
Yeah.
I just need to be seen at that point in time. And it's also with Leslie, like she's my backboard. I'll bounce stuff off her. Yeah. And she will call me into my shit if she sees that I'm kind of veering out of alignment and stuff. And I do the same. It's just those uncomfortable questions where I kind of need to sit in the discomfort and own what I'm owning. And I say, okay, sweet, I need to let go of this part. It's too much. This is actually not mine to carry, but I'm carrying it anyway because I want to save the day or be the hero or whatever. Yeah. So she says, you don't need to carry that, like reassess where you're at and all that stuff. But for the most part, it's just disconnection. 24 hours.
And do you feel that you're the same person when no one's watching? Do you feel like you've removed your mask?
Yes. Yeah. The whole point of me stepping into coaching in the men's work was be able to say, I am the same man when I don't wear a mask, when I'm at work, and the same man when I'm at home. There's no more mask to be worn because I know the weight and I know what it feels like and I know the resentment that builds up over time. Should I wear a mask and Leslie thinks that's my real face? And then take that mask off 3 months down the track and she's like, who the fuck are you? Yeah. So why have you been wearing that? So then she starts questioning herself. Have I been unsafe for him? Have I judged him? Have I shamed him anyway for him to turn around and pick up a mask? So it's, I am the same behind closed doors. I'm the same man. I want the best for everyone. I want the best for me. And I'm always working on me to get ahead.
Are you happy?
100%.
Good.
Yes, 100% I'm happy. This is the fire that burns within me. It's the fact that I'm co-owner in a business in the matrix, and I've got my own thing going on in the men's space, spiritual healing, whatever you want to call it. It's like I get to weave that into the matrix and be seen in the matrix in the roading industry. It's okay, this guy, he used to be an operator. He's now part owner of a business. He's in the roading industry. He's not afraid to talk about men's health. He does coaching. So I get to weave all of that amongst everyone and anyone in the industry that I like kind of meet. So yes, I am very happy.
And also that industry is very like, strong guys, masculine. Like we don't speak about feels, like we just get the job done, go have a beer and then we go home. So it's nice that you're bringing that, I want to say like a spiritual side into it as well. And, bringing men's health awareness into the workplace because it's, I think it's so important that it happens. Laki, if people remember one thing from this episode, what would you like it to be? I mean, there's been so many wonderful things. It's going to be hard to choose.
Yes. I think it's more so the event or retreat that I'm doing, because it's going to be an annual retreat for
Yes.
Perth. It's going to be a first of its kind where it's going to happen every winter,
Great.
and that it's going to be here to stay. Like regardless of what's going to happen, if 5 people my goal is 50 to 70 men.
Awesome.
But if 10 men show up, then 10 men show up and do the work, and it's just going to keep growing every year. It's going to be a lighthouse for the men of Perth, WA, and it's the growth. I believe wholeheartedly the growth is going to be phenomenal, and the movement that it's going to create. It's called the disruption of man, and it's disrupting the old patterns, beliefs, and systems of the men who haven't even thought about spirituality, healing, trauma, and all that side of things. That there is hope out there.
And will you share the details with us? We can pop a link in the show notes.
100%.
Perfect. For the men listening on that note who recognize themselves in this conversation, or they recognize themselves and don't want to, where is the best place to find you and work with you?
I'm on socials. I'm also on LinkedIn.
Okay.
But I'm not the only men's network doing stuff here in Perth. There's so many.
Some great ones.
There's some great ones out there. And I invite to find what suits and what you align with. There's also like some coaches, and even myself included, can take you so far. Then with your own evolution, you're going to have to find someone else. Like
so true.
You don't stay with the same mentor for your whole life. When you evolve past them and move on to someone else. And we need to move away from the idea that we have to be loyal. Yeah, it's something that I've seen that can get people stuck.
Yes.
And it can also sway opinions about how other people and other coaches and all that stuff turn up. And so like you align with who you align, and you don't owe anyone any loyalty to your own personal growth.
Yeah, yeah.
And coaches should be also saying that to their people. Say, hey, you've outgrown me.
Yes.
I suggest you go to these guys because I don't know these modalities to take you further.
Yeah, and it shows that the work that they've done with you has actually been successful.
Yes.
Whilst it's hard and it sucks, and that's kind of the end of a journey.
Yeah.
It shows that what they've done has worked. So
100%. And it's
important.
having that humility.
Yeah, definitely. What are the things we should have spoken about on the show, but we haven't quite got there?
I think everything that needed to be said was said, and
Good.
I'm excited.
And a final question, like you finished this sentence, the thing I want you to remember is, for our listeners.
The thing I want you to remember is alignment and intention will always take you to where you want to go.
Amen to that. I can speak to that wholeheartedly. That is great advice. Laki, thank you so much. Thank you for all that you've shared. I'm a big advocate for men's health. I've seen with the guys in my life the impact that it's had. So I think it's really great what you're doing. You have such an incredible presence and a calming presence about you. So glad to have connected with you and had this conversation today.
Thank you very much. I'm very honored to be here.
Thank you.
Skin and bone, but I feel it now in the way that I breathe. There's something inside.